Tebrik ediyoruz. Haydi devam bakalım. Çok güzeldi. Bravo. Evet, şöyle gönlümüze bir ferahlık geldi. Ümit ediyorum katılımcılarımız da aynı hissiyat içerisindeler. Bu arada Sayın Büyükelçimiz Vakur Bey de katıldılar. Sayın Büyükelçim şeref verdiniz. Çok mutluyuz sizi aramızda görmekten. Tabii heyecanla sunumunuzu da bekliyoruz. Büyükelçi Maki burada mı bilemiyorum. Şu anda göremiyorum kendisini ama eğer katıldıysa if Ambassador Maki, if His Excellency joined us, we also would love to welcome him. But let's continue with music, opening the gates of our hearts. Emrullah'cığım, Emin'cim, Kaan'cığım, evet dinliyoruz gene sizden, bekliyoruz. Evet, teşekkür ediyoruz. We are grateful to our musicians for a beautiful touch early in the morning to give us the flavor of this upcoming webinar. And what time is it? Well, we've got 5 more minutes.
We have time for another piece, Halil Bey.
That's fine. Okay, let's go ahead then. Ebrullah'cığım, ne çalalım? Bir parça için daha vaktimiz var diyor Aycan Bey. Very good. Thank you very much. Teşekkür ediyoruz. Sağ olun, var olun. Ellerinize, gönüllerinize sağlık kıymetli müzisyen dostlarımız. Evet, Aycan Bey.
Halil Bey, yavaş yavaş açabiliriz. all participants are now starting their cameras. Çok teşekkürler Kaan Bey, Emrullah Bey. Sağ olun. Now I would like to start the session by inviting our partner in today's program, Ms. Pelin Gökçek, Senior Advisor of Business Finland. Business Finland is our counterpart institution and co-organizer of today's event. Pelin Hanım will moderate the session. So Pelin Hanım, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Aycan Bey. Can you hear me well? I think so. Dear Mr. Hayal Kolluk, dear Ms. Jutta Kanesto, Your Excellency Mr. Ari Mekki, Your Excellency Mr. Mehmet Vakur Erkul, dear guests, I'd like to welcome you to our meeting, Interconnected Business Series, Turkey, Finland, Indoor Air Quality, HVAC, Engineering and Architecture, which is organized jointly by DEİK, Foreign Economic Relations Board of Turkey, TTM'de, Turkish Society of HVAC and Sanitary Engineers, Finnish Indoor Air Quality Ecosystem, VTT Technical Research Center of Finland, and finally Team Finland Turkey. On behalf of Team Finland Turkey, I'd like to sincerely thank all counterparts for their cooperation in organizing this event. Before starting our meeting, I'd like to share with you some information about the flow of our meeting. Our program will begin with the opening speeches of Mr. Hayal Kolluk, Chairman of the Turkey-Finland Business Council, Ms. Jutta Kanesto, responsible for internationalization in Finnish indoor air quality ecosystem, His Excellency Mr. Ari Mekki, Ambassador of Finland to Ankara, and His Excellency Mr. Mehmet Vakur Erkul, Ambassador of Turkey to Helsinki. Then we'll continue with industry presentations from Finland and Turkey, given by Mr. Aimo Taipale, Senior Research Scientist from VTT, Mr. Munis Özer, Chairman of DEİK International Technical Consultancy Business Council, and Dr. Kemal Gani Bayraktar, President of TTM'de. During the presentations, you can write your questions in the Q&A box, and we'll direct your questions to the relevant speakers afterwards. Finally, our program will be followed by a pitching networking session for Finnish and Turkish participants. Without further ado, I'd like to give the floor first to Mr. Hayal Kolluk to make his opening speech. Mr. Kolluk, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Pelin Hanım. As always, it's a pleasure to be here representing the Turkey-Finland Business Council of DEİK and all our friends, both in Finland and also here in Turkey. The Ambassador Erkul, the Ambassador Mekki, distinguished representatives of Turkish and Finnish business communities. This is a typical start of any kind of a speech. But I just want to tell you one thing. I am truly delighted to be here. It is indeed my absolute pleasure to welcome you all this morning as the chairman of DEİK Turkey-Finland Business Council. As you know, DEİK, what we usually term and define as the government voice of the private sector in Turkey and the private sector voice of the government. So there's a nice, fine fusion of both sides, both parties. We're here today, right after a very important day. Yesterday, it was the International Human Rights Day, which we thoughtfully and joyfully, I hope, celebrated. I strongly believe that it is every single human being's right to freely and happily breathe quality air. So it is our duty to make sure that human beings are provided with quality air, clean air to breathe. As one famous Sufi master, Sadi Shirazi, he said many years ago, you experience and live the essence of life when you breathe in, and you experience and live the joy of life when you breathe out. And those of us who are involved in quality control circles, quality control and quality assurance circles, now we all know that there is an adage that is garbage in, garbage out. So we got to make sure that the air we're breathing in is of good quality. So when we bring it out, it comes back with good qualities that we can give back to life, to humanity. So it is of utmost importance that we are sure to breathe this quality air into the quality of our lives. Now, we can talk about the subject for minutes and minutes and hours, but let's leave the air quality outdoor environment to the experts of that domain and focus on today's topic, internal air quality, with special emphasis on indoors, especially due to the previously unplanned and unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic, and forcing all of us to spend even more times indoors. We, the members of TÜRKİYE, Finlandia, as I started calling recently, Turkey-Finland Business Council, thought about this subject right after the outbreak of the COVID-19, back in March. And we decided to organize a webinar to disseminate existing knowledge and share the experiences of experts in Finland and Turkey and all around the world. With the help of my board members, and especially my vice chairman, Mr. Onur Çakır, we set our foresights on organizing a webinar last June. And on the 16th of that very month, the month of June, we conducted this webinar, and we titled it Impacts of Indoor Environment and Air Quality on Human Performance. We were very lucky at that time and privileged in a way to have Professor Vivian Lofness of Carnegie Mellon University from America, a world-renowned expert in the area. And then we also had, along with Professor Lofness, we had Mrs. Tarja Taki Halttunen of Halton Group from Finland, Professor Heidi Salonen of Aalto University, and Ms. Anu Saksem from, again, Halton in Finland. We saw that the webinar was very, truly effective, and we thought we sparked a remarkable interest among DEİK members and other guests. Considering this very year, and that we always talk about quality air and breathe in, breathe out, considering that this fact has remained a focal point of many of our conversations, it was very timely, and it's been a pleasure for us to explore this domain. Although the ultimate solution of COVID-19 will be a medical one, on a broader perspective, perhaps the search for a healthier way to lead to a better focus on designing our buildings with healthier solutions. We talk about built environments, and this is going to be an important factor, a key point of built environment design and engineering. And we are very lucky that we have some great speakers today who will be talking about the issues involved with built environment. So our subject today is about air, environment, breathing, and eventually design, engineering, and construction for a better, sustainable future. So we always try to highlight, while continuing our businesses, a human perspective must be at the core of our way of doing things and tackling challenges. Combining design elements and innovation approach from Finland and Turkish engineering and entrepreneurship ecosystems will surely lead to this desired and sustainable mutual success. Esteemed guests, today we organize this event together with our counterpart that we're proud of, and that is Business Finland. And along with Business Finland, Finland Indoor Air Quality Ecosystem, Finland's leading research center VTT, as well as DEİK's International Technical Consultative Business Council and Turkish Society of HVAC, Heating, Ventilation, Air Conditioning, and Sanitary Engineers, TTMD, will give us insights on how to achieve this goal. Now, these organizations are very important because we cannot really predict the future. It is very difficult to predict the future, but we can design the future. And all of our speakers and the organizations that we're involved with will help us design the future for better quality, better breathing, and for the benefit of humanity. Another good point for a highlight of today's meeting is that a memorandum of understanding will be signed between TTMD and Finland's indoor air quality ecosystem. So I'd like to thank Dr. Kemal Gani Bayraktar and Mr. Bunis Özer for initiating and supporting this cooperation, which we hope will lead to concrete outcomes and success stories in the future. As the Business Council, of course, our first and foremost aim is to strengthen the network and communication with our partners and friends in Finland. I would like to call on our Finnish friends. Please consider Turkey as a destination and partner for R&D investments and take benefit of Turkey's highly qualified workforce and engineers. Last but not least, I'd like to mention that Turkey-Finland Business Council relies on its member. Our strength comes from our member companies. Therefore, I'd like to invite Turkish companies to become member of DEİK Turkey-Finland Business Council, as well as TTMD, and consider becoming an institutional DEİK member. And of course, we're also open to our friends who start their businesses, Finnish friends who start their businesses in Turkey. They will be most welcome to join us. Famous poet Khalil Gibran said, "Don't try to make your children," Khalil Gibran of Ottoman Lebanon. He said, "Don't try to make your children be like yourself. Try to be like your children, because life doesn't flow backwards, but it flows forwards." And take into this thought to another famous American proverb, which I think is quite on the point in emphasizing our approach. It goes, we have not really inherited this earth from our ancestors, but we borrowed it from our children. So for our next generations, for our future generations, we have to pay attention to the environment in general and to the air we breathe in and out. And again, to do this, as I said, we can design this into our built environment. And our experts will help us how we can do that. I hope this webinar today will contribute to your businesses and provide you with a valuable insight. And I wish all of you, from the deepest part of my heart, success in your future endeavors. And of course, I'd love to say, stay safe and healthy. Now, doing all this, I'd like to end up with a few words from Mevlana Celaleddin Rumi, our great poet. He says, "Don't think you cannot do it. Never give up. Just do it." So, all together, let's just do it. Let's go forward. Let's move forward. Let's forge forward. Thank you very much. Now, the floor is back to you, Finland. It was a pleasure and an honor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kuluk, for your very meaningful speech, as usual, as always. Now I'd like to give the word to Ms. Jutta Kannisto for her speech. Ms. Kannisto.
Thank you very much, Pelin. So hello from my side and welcome to this webinar event and greetings from Finland. So my name is Jutta Kannisto and I'm here representing the Finnish indoor air quality ecosystem, which is one of the organizers of today's webinar, which is discussing the air quality, especially the indoor air quality theme. At this stage, I would like to extend my most sincerest gratitude and thank you especially to DEİK, Turkish-Finnish Business Council, and also Business Finland for working relentlessly in order to make this event happen and possible today. So thank you very much. And just quick words about the Finnish indoor air quality ecosystem. So we have been operating for almost 3 years now, and our mission is to be a cooperation platform for different stakeholders that work in the field of air quality. So as an ecosystem, we acknowledge that good indoor air is a combination of many things. So it's not a problem that can be solved by just one solution. So due to this, we firmly believe in co-creation, and thus we are building different joint projects which will utilize different technologies, sensors, and software. So in our vision, the IAQE vision is that indoor air could be bought as a service. So for instance, a school could just buy healthy indoor air, and then we would take care of selecting the best way to do so. So this would be a mix and match of different technologies in order to just offer the client the solution, which would be the healthy indoor air. I hope you're interested to learn more from us. So please don't hesitate to contact me or my colleague Aina Luuppala, which is also attending this webinar today. Also, we will give a longer presentation in the networking part after this webinar session. So we, of course, warmly welcome everybody to also take part in that. But now I think from my part, I wish you all a nice webinar. I truly hope that you will enjoy the program today. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ms. Kannisto, for your speech. I think it will be a very valuable webinar today and the networking session. I would like to now invite His Excellency, Mr. Arimäki, to give his opening speech.
Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Kannisto, dear Halil Bey, Mr. Ambassador Vakur Bey, and dear guests. Thank you for joining us today in this event co-hosted by the Indoor Air Quality Ecosystem Turkey-Finland Business Council of DEİK and Team Finland Turkey. In these difficult times when physical meetings are not possible and this social distancing has become the new normal, I'm delighted to see that the EAQE, DEİK, and other our two embassies could bring together such an interesting group of people with a common goal to strengthen the business and innovation linkages between Finland and Turkey. I think this actually this has given much more new opportunities, reaching out people that we wouldn't perhaps normally reach out in two different countries, or even further if there's also other members here from other countries as well. Finland and Turkey, we do have very long established diplomatic and trade relations, and in fact this week we have celebrated our 96 years of diplomatic relations with Turkey. We have had a trade office in Istanbul since 1930s and embassy in Ankara since 1940. And today the Team Finland network in Turkey consists of embassy in Ankara, Business Finland office in Istanbul, and a network of honorary consuls. And actually yesterday we also learned to know that we are going to get one extra resource, a special advisor, Team Finland special advisor to our embassy. And this will be recruited quite soon. In addition, we also a great deal of business councils and guilds, both based in Finland and in Turkey. I'm happy to say that, despite of the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, our bilateral trade has grown this year. However, there's still plenty of potential, and this is why we are here today. According to 2018 WHO report, Finland has the cleanest air in the world. However, more than 90% of humans around the world breathe dangerously contaminated air, and more than 7 million people are prematurely killed each year due to air pollution. In part due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, the problem of clean air has moved increasingly from the outdoors to indoors, and where we are spending more and more time during the curfews and lockdowns, and also on distance working. Therefore, improving indoor air quality is more important today than ever. Today, we have invited industry and research experts from Finland and Turkey to discuss indoor air quality solutions in order to encourage actors in both countries to get involved in the joint activities, create cooperation, and to find new solutions to improve the quality of indoor air. Before I give the floor to the experts and also to my colleague in Helsinki, Vakur Bey, I would like to once again thank everyone who has made today's event possible, and wish all the participants an insightful morning. Thank you.
Your Excellency, I'd like to sincerely thank you for your speech, and would like to invite His Excellency Mr. Mehmet Vakur Erkul for his opening speech.
Good morning to everyone. First of all, I would like to greet my dear friend, Mr. Halil Kulluk, who's just very efficiently leading the way in DEİK for good relations with our Finnish friends in business terms. I would also like to greet Ms. Jutta Kaunisto, my dear friend, Ambassador Arimäki, and all the participants in this webinar. This is a very important topic, indoor air quality. Me, myself, being on the consumer side in this matter, it is just up to the companies who are dealing with this topic to even improve the quality of air indoors. Now, Turkey and Finland have, as also my dear friend Arimäki has underlined, good relations, also sound economic relations. And we also have just take note of that our bilateral economic relations were not as badly hit as perhaps other relations among other countries in these times of COVID. And hopefully next year it will be way better once this bad situation is over. Turkey has 248 missions abroad, and we have outreach to emerging markets and new places which are ready to accept companies also providing solutions for indoor air quality. Therefore, I would urge my Turkish friends as well as our Finnish friends to look forward to make joint ventures, to cooperate, to take advantage of our wide network of diplomatic missions and take the opportunity to reach out to these new emerging markets where both Finland and Turkey can have a win-win situation. Also on the consumer side, the other countries would benefit from that. And as mentioned, indoor quality is very important as it improves the performance, the creativity, as well as the moral of the people just working indoors. So I would just once more underline that it is a very important topic. I would just congratulate everyone who just came to organize this meeting, and I hope that in the coming years we will also see just strengthened cooperation among Turkish and Finnish companies in this regard. Not only in Turkey or Finland, but I also hope, as mentioned, as common endeavors in Africa, in Central Asia, Far East, the subcontinent, and everywhere else. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, thank you very much for your speech as well as your insights. And after the opening speeches, we'd like to continue our meeting with the industry presentations from Finland and Turkey. As the first speaker, Mr. Aimo Taipale, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank all the organizers for asking me to join this webinar. It's a great pleasure and honor to be here, and I would very much like to talk about these IAQ issues and cleaner solutions, since I feel that they are my favorite topic. I will now try to share some slides with you. I hope it will be as easy as it was yesterday, but let's see. Okay, I hope you all see the first slide now. Before actual topic, I would like to start with a couple of quick facts about Finland. As you know, Finland is located in northern part of Finland. We are famous of midnight sun, polar lights, thousands of lakes, and of course snow in the winter time. We have also clean nature here. We are very happy about that. We have 4 different seasons and very strong variation in ambient temperature. And our society is very nice, I would say. We are using information a lot. We have no corruption. According to latest results, we are the happiest and most equal nation in the world. So it's a good starting point for any kind of actions. And I'm really happy to be a part of Finnish people. The second one, this one describes also Finnish people and society. You can say that Finland is a land of scientists and engineers. We have many scientists compared to the size of our population and economy, and we use a lot of our GDP to R&D actions. And I hope it will offer opportunities for cooperation in global markets. And the contents of the actual presentation here, I will first give a couple of slides about VTT, then refer some ideas to smart cities, and then we move to air quality and health issues. And maybe the most important part is to present some Finnish know-how and some IAQ solutions we have developed here. And of course, I will talk something about this coronavirus, and then summary. VTT is quite big research institute in Europe. We have about 2,000 people working in VTT, and we work for both public research and for company research, which is confidential. And I think that maybe the most important features of VTT is that we are strictly impartial. So we don't take any parties. We might be involved in some difficult cases, but we are the expert. We are not a party, but that's our role, and we want to keep it in that way. We are also non-profit organization, and we are owned by Finnish government, and this will guarantee us this impartiality. And of course, it makes it possible for us to cooperate with anybody in the world. We have positioned us in a field of research in such a way that we are located between industry and universities. And our area is called applied research. Of course, we cooperate with companies and universities, yes, but our duty is to bring the results from the basic research to products for companies. And this is what we are doing. And at least for me, this is very interesting position. And I find this work very nice. Smart cities, they have been quite big team in research for many years now. And VTT has been very active in this area. There has been many projects. I wouldn't go to the details, and it's not even possible for me to know about the details of all of these projects, but I wanted to bring this up as a background for this indoor air quality issue, because I see that a smart city in the future will be a home for good indoor air quality. And of course, there are many issues considered in smart city. We start from intelligent design and building. We have transportation systems, energy storages, things like that. Then we have to keep in mind zero emissions and small carbon footprint, recycling, things like that. We are utilizing data systems, ICT technology, but I see that indoor air quality should somehow be connected to all of these, because otherwise the concept of the smart city wouldn't work as it should and as it could work. So I think that as we are designing new products, new services to this environment, I think that IAQ is very, very important part there. And I think that health and welfare, they are aims for smart city as well. And so the IAQ can be one tool how to reach this health and welfare in this environment. So I think that smart city is somehow a kind of platform for this indoor air quality issue. Then introduction of our research team. It is called VTT Clean Air Solutions. I have been part of this team for 25 years now. The research topics has been related to ventilation, filtration techniques. And in this slide, you can see that this airborne contamination control is kind of expression that contains basically all what we are doing. But indoor air quality building protection is very important part of that, of course. And we talk about fine particle exposure, because particles are very important to take out of the air when we clean the air. And then we can calculate how big is the exposure of people to these impurities. And we have seen many universities and research institutes who are able to study how big is the exposure. But I would say that we have a slightly different point of view here, because every time we have a project, the target is to reduce the exposure. So that's why we are dealing with these technologies which enable reducing this exposure. And in this way, we can make people healthier and improve the well-being, of course. These tools, yes, filtration, ventilation, we have different filtration systems, mechanical, electrical filtrations. We include also cabin air filtration as an indoor. Of course, normally indoor refers to buildings, but indoor can refer also to vehicles, cabins. Then we have some industrial applications as well, like gas turbine inlet filtration systems. I wouldn't go to that side today. But this measurement technology and monitoring technology is very important. For us, it's a very important tool, but as it was mentioned earlier, the aim is to be able to provide good indoor air quality as a service. And you can easily imagine that if you make a deal about indoor air quality for next 3 years or something like that, you have to decide what is the quality, how to measure it. And of course, you have to prove it, you have to improve it, and then you have to prove what was the result. And at least in my mind, I see that perhaps the payment should be connected to the quality. And of course, in that case, you need very good monitoring systems, and you have to agree how to measure the quality of the indoor air. And that's why I think that measurement is even more important today. I have to say that I'm very happy to hear that you earlier referred to WHO statements about air quality in the world. We have been also following the statements and the work of medical doctors and epidemiologists. And I have to say that the numbers are huge. And okay, as we are now in the middle of corona pandemics, I still think that these numbers which air pollution causes, they are even larger. So it means that as soon as we manage to get rid of this coronavirus, we still have something to do left because we still have this air quality issue. This picture is taken from China. I think it was Harbin a couple of years ago. They measured particle concentrations up to 1,000 micrograms per cubic meter. WHO level is 10, so it was 100 times higher. And actually the reason for number of 1,000 was not that the concentration was that low. That was the maximum for the measurement devices. As soon as they figure out that one, they put another device and the number was 2,000. And that was not real either, but the second device maximum was 2,000. So we never knew how high this concentration actually was, but it was too high even for the measurement devices. So you can imagine that the issue is real. This slide is actually adopted from medical doctors. I like this expression because this figure is describing how this health effects actually happens in human beings. Everything starts from emission, and these impurities are spread to atmosphere. They come indoors also. People breathe. You can calculate this human exposure. You can calculate how much particles enter your lungs, biological dose, tissue change, and at the end of the day, the health impact. It can be cancer, it can be heart diseases, it can of course be related to breathing. And actually the reason why I like this chain is that if we want to do something to prevent this to happen, it's of course obvious that if we manage to cut this chain at any point, we have actually solved the whole problem. And the other feature is that basically this is equal in that sense that you are free to choose your box. We have chosen this human exposure box, but it's perfectly okay for me. If somebody would like to develop some drugs or something like that and work in another box, it doesn't matter. We are equal in that sense that if anybody can cut this chain, we have solved the problem. Of course, we have to consider this cleaning of the exhaust gases as well, but I would say that especially building envelope is very good way to cut this outdoor pollution to get indoors. So that's why buildings are very important. And the reason, of course, why the buildings are important is that we spend 90% of our time indoors. So if things are okay indoors, then we have completed 90% of the mission. Indoors here, of course, includes homes, workplaces, schools, public premises, cabins, and so on. But still, we are inside of something 90% of our time. And as it was mentioned earlier, during this corona pandemics, this number can be even higher. But at the same time, we have learned that about 40% of the buildings suffer from some unwanted features. They might be related to comfort or health or safety or something like that, but it's quite high number. And of course, as nowadays everything has to be measured in terms of money, they have calculated how much money will be lost because people get sick and die too early. And these hundreds of billions of euros per year in Europe, this number is really, really high. So if we manage to do something for this issue, also the economics side, the economics effect is very, very big. Of course, if we improve the indoor air quality, it has a price as well. And I'm afraid that the price is the inertia in many cases. The buildings are using a big part of the inertia used in the societies, and ventilation is maybe the worst or the second worst consumer of the inertia. So that's why we need to think how much energy we want to use for cleaning the air inside. And that's why I think that the development has gone in that direction, that we want to find out energy efficient methods to clean the air. One example of this economics is illustrated here. This is kind of office building, and they have calculated the operation costs of this kind of building and ended up the result that only 1% is of the money is spent for energy. 9% is used for rent and 90% for salary. So basically number 1990 describes what happens. And if your task is to figure out how to save money, and you are aiming to 10% improvement in that area, you can easily see that it's very beneficial to take consideration how to improve the environment for people who are working in this building, how they can work more efficiently, how to avoid them to get sick, and of course nowadays you can say that you really don't want the coronavirus to spread in your office. So in that case, it's clear that you can also find this financial background for this better indoor air quality. Okay, now we are inside of the building, and what do we see? We have emissions, we have deposition, of course, we have some indoor sources, we may have air cleaner, but then we have also leakages and of course this ventilation, however it is made. But maybe one of the challenges is how to avoid this outdoor pollution to get indoors. And in this study, it was shown that in Europe, on average, more than half of the impurities found indoors are actually originated from outdoors. So maybe the first task is to think how to prevent this pollution to penetrate from outdoors to indoors. This figure illustrates indoor-outdoor particle concentration ratio on y-axis and filter penetration on x-axis. Penetration is quite opposite to filtration efficiency. Like if efficiency is 90, penetration is 10%. But we were actually quite amazed about the correlation. This was done in one building in Helsinki many years ago, and these red dots here are different grades of supplier filters. And as we plot the results in this way, you can see that this indoor-outdoor particle concentration ratio is actually directly depending on filter penetration. So if you want to avoid outdoor impurities to get inside, use high-efficiency supply air filters. Of course, there are some other ways to do it. The second basic solution is to use room air cleaners. This was from another study in Helsinki. This result, again, indoor-outdoor ratio, you can see that during room air cleaner is off, this IO ratio is about 60%. So I guess that efficiency of supply air filter should be 40%. But as soon as we turn this room air cleaner on, you can see that this IO ratio decreases very rapidly down to 10%. When we turn the device off, ratio goes back up and so on. So it's directly affecting also to this indoor-outdoor ratio if you are using these recirculating room air cleaners. I think that the most important issue here is that you should have a high clean air delivery rate compared to the size of your room and to the ventilation of your room. If you have a big room and small cleaner, you are in a trouble. If you have a small room, big cleaner, then it should be okay. Basically, what we have done is that we have developed some technologies and concepts how to improve the indoor air quality in buildings. And this is illustrating one system. It is a combination of supply air filter in air handling unit and this recycling and filtrating air diffuser in a room. Of course, this can be done also with a separate room air cleaner, but this is the system which has been integrated in this ventilation system. And we have used these systems also in real life, because I think, of course, it's important to get these systems operating properly in laboratory, but unfortunately, it's not enough. You should be able to prove the performance also in real environment. And this picture, this is actually from China, from Beijing. This is the building of Finnish embassy residence building in Beijing. And you can see the measurement device and systems we have installed there. And on the right-hand side, you can see the result, what we gained. When we started, the filtration efficiency for smallest particles we measured was something like 50%. It's not bad. It's actually quite good. In many cases, you can find lower values. But as we introduced this electrical filtration system there, we were able to increase the filtration efficiency close to 100%. And I have to say that at the same time, this pressure drop decreased from 60 pascals to 30 pascals. So we get both higher efficiency and lower pressure drop and save the energy. This result is from this air cleaning supply air device. It's innovation which was born in VTT, and we are actually at the moment commercializing it. And you can see that this relative concentration comes down to 25% of the original value as we turn on these voltages. Of course, you can see that this is electrical filtration. It has to be electrical filtration because this system can't tolerate any pressure drop at all. So we are using electrical filtration, but this electrical filtration decreases the concentration down to 25%, which is actually quite good result, I think. One figure from cabin air side, this is from BMW. I think that the space was quite limited, but we managed to put in electrical filtration for particles and activated carbon filter for gases, and we managed to put in engine house of BMW and got quite good results. They are not presented here. If we still have some time, I would like to talk a few words about this corona issue. I think that the basics you all know, and one place to check, if you like, is this REHVA COVID-19 guidance. It's available from REHVA website. I think it's very valuable information there available, and many professors have joined their forces and produced this document. And there is, for example, this illustration how this coronavirus is spread. Of course, there are many mechanisms. First one is a direct droplet, which is probably the most important. And I think that the second one, this airborne droplet nuclei mechanism, it's not so obvious, or maybe it's obvious for aerosol physicists, but it's certainly not so obvious for common people. And that's why I think it has been underestimated very badly, at least in Finland. And of course, the third and fourth one, they are related to contact. If you touch a contaminated surface, then it's possible to get sick. But I would say that number one and number two are mainly in our area. Of course, number three is partly because these droplets, of course, contaminate all the surfaces in a room. But I think that I mean, everything we have done in terms of ventilation, filtration, and also personal protective equipment, they are quite effective tools to reduce the risk for getting this corona. And one tool we have used is CFD calculation. This is just still a picture of this simulations, which is visualized here. In normal cases, normal room, the guy on the left-hand side, he is sick and he is coughing. And now here you can see blue and red droplets, or blue one are droplets and red one are these nucleus. And I would say that these blue ones, they are so heavy that you will find them on the floor, but the red ones, they are so small that they remain airborne for a long time. And the second picture is the same situation, but now we have put a mask to the guy who is sick. And you can see that the virus concentration in the air reduces drastically. And actually this is quite encouraging result, because I believe that the masks should have an effect. Of course, they have to be used in a correct way, but if you are using a good mask in a correct way, it is possible to avoid other people to get sick. Of course, it might help you as well. It might prevent you to get sick, but the most important feature is that if you are sick, you don't get other people sick if you are using a mask. Of course, these ventilation questions are relevant here. I won't go to any details here either, but it's obvious that if you increase ventilation rate, you decrease virus concentration, you decrease exposure, you decrease the risk to get sick. Maybe another important issue here is that maybe it's better not to use this recirculation air during this time. or if you want to use it or need to use it, then you should have a very good high efficiency filter there, because otherwise you might spread this virus from one room to another room, and it's of course not so good. But okay, of course, maybe pressure differences between rooms and things like that should be checked, and actually the performance of the ventilation should be checked now if you haven't checked it lately. One question or illustration how efficient these clean air technologies may be. This is example is from industry. We have used different techniques of local ventilation. The starting point is up left. There we have 400 liters per second general ventilation, and concentration is 45 milligrams per cubic meter. Then we have tried different local ventilation solutions, and actually the best one is lower right-hand side, where we have used two separate exhausts close to the source, and then we provide clean air to the breathing zone of the worker. And concentration now is 0.06 milligrams per cubic meter. So you can see that it's very huge reduction. And it's also worth noticing that the total ventilation rate is still the same. The only thing we have done is that we divided the airflow in different way. Of course, this is quite easy example because we know where is the source, and we know where we need the clean air. But I would like to see that something like that would happen also when we are aiming to protect people from coronaviruses. And why? Of course, because we have information available how ventilation affects on respiratory illnesses like corona. This is done much before we didn't even have SARS-1 virus. We have now SARS-2 virus, but even before SARS viruses, we have learned that if you increase ventilation, if you are using general ventilation or room air cleaners or whatever you are using, but as long as you increase the ventilation, you decrease the risk to get sick. And I see no reason why this cannot be happen also with this coronavirus. It's not so much different than the other ones. Okay, I'm afraid I have used even too much time here, but this is the final slide from my side today. I just wanted to point out that high efficiency filtration is excellent tool to reduce the concentration of fine particles or pathogens in the air. I know that many Finnish companies are very good in this area, in this indoor air quality technologies. I hope you will learn more during the later session today. And at least my point here is that the products has been developed during long-term R&D cooperation. So they are not invented now. They have been there long before coronavirus. VTT is also active in this area, and of course we are willing to join to any project. If you are willing to discuss with us, we will be pleased to do that. And I guess that all the Finnish actors, companies and research institutes and universities are very active when they are looking for partners in global markets to solve these indoor air quality problems. So thank you very much. That was everything from my side today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Taipale, for this very interesting presentation. I think your presentation really showed to all of us how important indoor air quality is in our lives. Now, our second speaker is Mr. Munis Özay. Mr. Özay, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Ms. Pelin. Let me open my Let me share my screen. Okay. Hi, His Excellency Ambassador Mr. Maki and Ambassador Mr. Erkul, Chairman of DEİK, Turkish-Finland Business Council, President of TTMB, Mr. Bayraktar, dear members of Finnish Indoor Air Quality Ecosystem, dear participants, good morning. Main topic of my presentation will be Turkish construction industry. First, let me introduce myself shortly. I have a MS degree in civil engineering. Currently, I am chairing the DEİK International Technical Consultancy Business Council. I am the immediate past president and board member of Association of Turkish Consulting Engineers and Architects. I am working in my company, TMA Engineering, as managing partner. TMA is a multidisciplinary design and consultancy firm having experience more than 30 years in local and international markets. In general, I will cover the following topics: air pollution and indoor air quality, construction industry in Turkey, DEİK and International Technical Business Council, Turkish contractors, PPP projects in Turkey, Turkish construction materials sector, Turkish consulting engineers and architects. It is not my expertise, but I would like to say a few words for air quality. Air pollution and poor air quality continues to be deadliest global environmental health risk, causing nearly 5 million deaths each year. Globally, 55% of the people are living in urban areas. Cities are critical for growing health crisis. When people think of air pollution, they think of the air outside. It is easy to believe that the air quality inside is worse than the air quality inside. According to EPA, the levels of indoor air pollution are often 2 to 5 times higher than the outdoor levels. In some cases, these levels can exceed 100 times of outdoor levels. In other words, the air inside can be more harmful than the outside air. Basic strategies should be applied to improve the indoor air quality, such as source control, improved ventilation, and air cleaners. Now, COVID-19 brings indoor air quality up front. In addition to close contact with infected people and contaminated surfaces, spread of COVID-19 may also occur via airborne particles in indoor environments. Better indoor air quality decreases the risk of coronavirus. Best practices for design, construction, and commissioning has to be followed by architects, design engineers, contractors, commissioning agents, all other professionals concerned with indoor air quality to create healthy indoor environments. Turkish construction institutions regarding above elements will briefly be described in my presentation. Construction industry plays a crucial role in Turkish economic development. Construction industry has three main stakeholders: contractors, construction materials producers, and technical consultants. DEİK was established in 1985 for conducting the foreign economic relations of Turkish private sector. DEİK is the Turkish private sector's gateway to foreign countries. It is a business diplomacy organization performing its activities through business councils, funding institutions, and members. Presently, there are 139 bilateral country business councils, like Turkey Finland Business Council, 2 special purpose business councils, 5 sectorial business councils. Our business council, International Technical Consultant Business Council, is one of these sectorial business councils. International Technical Consultancy Business Council was founded in 2013 under umbrella of DEİK. Cooperating with bilateral business councils of DEİK, the ITC Business Council aims to create a new business opportunities in the defined target countries. Members of our business council consist of prestigious Turkish consulting, engineering, and architectural companies actively involved in overseas projects. Currently, our council has 33 active member companies. Turkish construction sector has shared 8 to 9% in GDP of Turkey, employs 2 million people, has 30% share in Turkish economy, provides 10% of employment. This map shows volume of international projects undertaken by Turkish contractors within the last 47 years. This is the annual volume of international contracts signed by Turkish contractors. It reached to 30 million USD in some years. Based upon 2019 data, Turkish contracting companies ranked among the world's top 250 international contractor list published in 2020 by the leading international industrial magazine ENR. With this number, Turkey ranked second in the world after China and maintained its position for more than 10 years. The Turkish Contractors Association represents the leading construction companies in Turkey. The business volume of its members covers nearly 80% of all domestic and 90% of all international contracting work done by Turkish construction companies. This is the distribution of works in by country performed by Turkish contractors. 90% of the international business was realized in Eurasia, Middle Eastern, and African countries. By the nature of work, housing was the #1 activity, followed by road, bridge, tunnel projects, commercial centers, airports, and power plants. I would like to say a few words about Turkey's construction sector's PPP experience. Turkey has completed nearly 100 public-private partnership projects, having total volume of more than 100 billion over the past 15 years. Turkey's PPP experience is significant in global scale. Various PPP models are used in sectors such as transportation, health, and energy. Indoor air quality is very important for the projects related to airport, passenger terminals, and hospitals. These graphs represent the number and values of realized PPP projects. Turkish construction material industry is one of the most important stakeholders of Turkish construction sector with $88 billion of market size. İMSAT, Association of Turkish Construction Material Producers, represents the sector with 88 industry companies and 52 industry association members. Now I'll give some brief information about the Turkish technical consultancy sector. Total number of engineering, architectural, and technical consultancy firms in Turkey is approximately 2000 with 85,000 employees. Some of the Turkish consulting engineering firms are also being included in the ENR Top 2025 International Design Firm list since 2011. Based upon 2019 data, 6 Turkish design companies ranked among the world's top 225 international design firm list published in 2020 by the ENR. Now I'll introduce you the Association of Turkish Consulting Engineers and Architects. Association of Turkish Consulting Engineers and Architects is the only body representing the sector in Turkey within the last 40 years. ASEA is both member of FİDİK and EFKA and represents these two organizations in Turkey. Turkish consultancy firms have completed more than 2,000 projects in 120 countries, having total amount of $2.5 billion US. Following graphs show the distribution of projects by countries, sectors, and activity areas. At the end of my presentation, there will be a video showing the experiences of and capacities of Turkish consulting firms. Afterwards, my colleague, Dr. Bayraktar, will present you our partner association, TTMB. Thank you. I wish you healthy days. You may contact with DEİK ITC Business Council using the following mail addresses. Now I'll shift to the video.
Through the ages, architects and engineers developed the world's civilizations by shaping the nature to meet the needs of the humankind and to turn it into built environments. Technical consultancy covers all engineering and architectural services, ranging from planning, design, supervision, and commissioning necessary to build the infrastructure and superstructure of all kinds. Technical consultancy services ensures environment-friendly and sustainable economic progress, paying due attention to social benefits. A group of idealist consulting engineers and owners of engineering and architecture companies, having the vision to flourish national and independent technical consultancy services for the long-term development of Turkey, established the Association of Turkish Consulting Engineers and Architects in the very heart of Turkey, Ankara, on the 25th of April, 1980. ADSIA is devoted to expanding and improving independent consulting engineering and architecture services via private sector in our country since its foundation. Our association and its members grew with pride and successfully accomplished vast number of development projects in Turkey and abroad. ADSIA values professional reputation as well as engineering and architectural excellence, while highly praises ethics and integrity for all its member companies, and for their managers and executives in this endeavor to be amongst the most prestigious and pioneering companies in Turkey and the world. The objective of our association is to assure increasing demand for independent and national technical consultancy services, as well as aligning our national laws, legislations and regulations related to the procurement of these services and selection methods, adopting best values approaches. To create cooperation opportunities with non-government organizations, public and other private sector enterprises, in order to improve Turkish technical consultancy services and companies. To help expand Turkish consulting sector activities to the global markets. Since 1987, Association of Turkish Consulting Engineers and Architects has been a member of the International Federation of Consulting Engineers, FİDİK, founded in 1913 in Switzerland, and it is the only representative of FİDİK in Turkey. ADSIA became a member of the European Federation of Engineering Consultancy Associations in 2001. Our members contribute to international work groups under the body of FİDİK and EFCA and work in cooperation with consulting engineers associations of numerous countries. While the member companies of ADSIA provide consulting engineering services for a substantial portion of Turkish public and private sector investments of large and small-scale development projects, they also carry out major projects in many foreign countries in similar fashion. Initially concentrated around Turkey's neighboring geography, the services of our members has rapidly become widespread all around the world at an accelerated rate and continue with an ever-increasing enthusiasm in alignment with our national export and growth policies. Our members, equipped with state-of-the-art technologies, vast experiences and know-how, keep pace with the fast-developing world, who are capable of performing qualified works and highly appreciated both in Turkey and in all geographies that they get a chance to perform. Turkish consultancy engineering sector ranks among the most significant sectors that contribute to the national economy with its high value-added performance. The members of the Association of Turkish Consulting Engineers and Architects represent the lawful benefits of their employers while keeping in mind their social responsibilities. Putting Turkey and its people above all, our members recognize that in order to achieve our ideals, young generations should be prepared to meet the challenges of the future, utilizing innovative ideas, creating and sustainability principles, through learning and better adapting themselves to the ever-changing technological developments. This journey that began in 1980, based on these very principles, is the journey of the Turkish consulting engineers and architects, whose ideal is to contribute to the progress, strength, and prosperity of our nation and to the world.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Özler, for the presentation and video that showed us how the Turkish construction sector can provide various business opportunities between two countries and also in third countries. Finally, now I'd like to give the word to Dr. Kemal Gani Bayraktar. Dr. Bayraktar, please.
Thanks, Pelin Hanım. His Excellency Ambassador of Finland, His Excellency Ambassador of Turkey, dear esteemed colleagues in Finland and Turkey, I would like to convey the warmest regards of our members. Good morning. Thanks to Business Finland and International Technical Consultancy, Business Council, of Foreign Economic Relations Board for their kind invitation and bringing us together in this special online gathering. Let me share our philosophy that keeps TTMD moving forward continuously with a short introductory movie.
Ben bir mühendisim. Ofiste, evde, yaşamın her alanındayım. Görülmeyen ama hissedilenim. Ben ne kadar görünmez olursam, projelerim o kadar başarıyla tasarlanmış ve uygulanmış demektir. Tıpkı sizi sizden fazla düşünen gizli kahraman gibi. Kahramanlık, kağıtla kalem bir araya geldiğinde, çünkü mühendislik, bilim ve doğa alanında tüm bilinenleri yine doğa ve insanlık için kullanmaktır. Tasarımda sadece estetiğin değil, sürdürülebilirlik, enerji verimliliği, çevre duyarlılığı gibi kavramların da altını çizmektir. Mühendislik, modern, konforlu ve doğaya saygı gösteren yenilikçi yaşam alanlarını hayal etmek ve gerçeğe dönüştürmektir. Gelecek kuşaklara göndermektir. Binlerce önce bir kıvılcımla yaratılan aydınlığı tek bir tuşla milyonlarca insanın yaşadığı yerlere taşımaktır. Geceyi gündüze, soğuğu sıcağa, sıcağı soğuğa çevirebilmektir. İnsanlığın ihtiyaçlarını karşılamak için hayallerimizi gerçekleştirirken yanımızda TTMD vardı. 1992 yılında kurulduğundan bu yana çatısı altında güven bulduğumuz, etik değerlerin teşkili ve temel sorunların çözümü için birlikte çalıştığımız yol arkadaşımız. Farklı disiplinlerden gelen profesyonellerin ortak amaçlar için toplandığı TTMD, üyeler arasında iletişim ve tartışma ortamı yaratıyor, bilimsel ve teknolojik yayınlar yapıyor, üniversite sanayi işbirliğine destek veriyor, çevreci ve enerji verimli çözümlerin yaygınlaşmasını destekliyor, yurt dışındaki gelişmeleri izliyor ve sektörü yurt dışında temsil ediyor. Bizler tüm insanlığın iyi yaşam arayışına çözüm buluyoruz. Bizler yarınlarımızı şimdiden kuruyor ve daha sürdürülebilir bir dünya için çalışıyoruz. TTMD, 1992'den bugüne yaşam mekanlarında insanlığın konfor ihtiyaçlarını doğaya saygı göstererek sağlamak için var. Mühendislik mesleğini etik değerler doğrultusunda uygulamak için var. Türk Tesisat Mühendisleri Derneği. Gelin geleceği birlikte yaratalım.
Our founding fathers, who are the mechanical system designers, established TTMD for further education and knowledge technology transfer. So one for all for one. And we are the society of expertise. While designers are still the core of our association, TTMD represents a diverse group of designers, consultants, contractors, academicians, advocates, and businesses who are providing an acceptable indoor environmental quality to occupants in buildings and places of work around the world. More sustainable, more healthy, more comfortable, and more safe. Thanks to our members for their generosity in their voluntary works, create knowledge, leading to change what we need. TTMDs are working with several committees which started its works in 2015 as a working group in the Izmir branch of Chamber of Mechanical Engineers, and they directly focused on to increase the indoor environment quality of schools. They prepared voluntary regime for training of trainers to train the teachers in these schools and also the students who will disseminate all the produced knowledge. They prepared booklets, training modules, and also run a demonstration project to show what can be achieved with increased indoor environment quality. And lately, last year, another committee launched to track the COVID-19 issues and also collaborating with our international organizations. Mainly knowledge-based activities run by TTMD, including symposium, our international symposium, webinars and seminars, cost-free for our professionals, and also workshops for better understanding the new trendy subjects, and also TTMD Academy is providing certified courses. TTMD has an experience in developing the projects for and innovation, which were funded by FP7 and European Union. And right now, there are 2 running projects funded by Erasmus. And also, the produced and translated books can be provided by our bookshop, digitally online, and also we are disseminating the knowledge and the news and any information via our journals to our professionals. TTMD is also collaborating with more than 30 associations while TTMD is working with as a member of Turkish HVAC industry, as a member of Air Conditioning Council of TOP, the Union of Chambers and Commodity Exchange of Turkey, and also organizing or contributing to the exhibitions and the biggest exhibition of the region, ISK Sodex in Turkey. It is being biennially taken place in Istanbul. Is also TTMD plays one of the organizers among the organizing associations. And when we look at the international collaborations of TTMD as EWA, Federation of Air Conditioning Associations, we are collaborating with 27 associations in Europe, and also one of them is FINVAC in Finland, the Finnish Association of HVAC Associations, Societies, which has been continuously working for the community since 1930. And in REWA, we are also contacting with Indoor Environment Quality Global Alliance, where REWA is one of the founders of this alliance. Also, we are working in COVID-19 task force of REWA as well. Another collaborative activity that TTMD involved is the Congress targeting the Mediterranean region, so a kind of Mediterranean HVAC Societies Alliance, which is targeting to organize biannually international Congress for academicians, industry experts, and also the policymakers. Also, TTMD is representing IBIPSA in Turkey, as well as Association of Energy Engineers in Turkey. And also a member of ASHRAE Association Society Alliance, which helps us to easily communicate with other organizations globally. And last but not least, TTMD is representing Republic of Turkey in International Energy Agency technical collaboration programs in 3 different technology collaboration programs that we be involved. One is energy in buildings and communities. And we are also working in air infiltration and ventilation center, which was transformed by task 5 of this technology. Ongoing projects or tasks, our experts, the experts from Turkey, from academy, from industry, are trying to contribute to the progress of our technological development. And in energy conservation through energy storage, and also solar heating, cooling, I am sure our colleagues were highly inspired by her notes in the past. Shaping our civilization is continuously ongoing towards excellency, and in this travel, we should be more aware of learnings and remembering the past to take lessons. And every pandemic in history transformed humanity. We immediately started to think how resilient our systems are when we faced the pandemic last year, this year. And so far, energy efficiency and its use were dominating the debate. Tighten up buildings, minimize the outdoor air, and recirculate. That's what we recommended. And now, be careful, open up buildings, maximize outdoor air, and don't recirculate. So everything is changing very fast. And what about the unknowns that we know and don't know? As we are spending more than 8 in built environments, more significant improvements needed to mitigate all air risks indoors. And we need to improve preparedness for future pandemics as well. So as the indoor environmental quality and also air quality is a multidisciplinary issue involving architects, engineers, specialists, health specialists, speaking with one voice on indoor environmental quality. And many people and stakeholders are responsible for the final indoor environmental quality. There's a need to establish a collaboration between all parties of the IAQ value chain to sustain the change needed for the future. And is that the only issue? Thank God we have other issues, challenges to be coped. And we need to accelerate our activities. When we look at the rate of population increase, which will be ended, of course, with urbanization, the majority of the population is going to be in the cities. And in these cities, when we look at the geographies, the growth will be the least developed and highly fossil fuel dependent areas. Indoor is also being affected by outdoor. So the buildings that when they focus, which are making the cities, we should be more careful in designing the cities of future as healthy, energy efficient, environmental friendly, renewable integrated, and also independent and self-sufficient, which is more crucial for the future. And when we look at, and while we are designing the new buildings, but also we have a huge building stock. Just an example from our country. We are having, by the end of 2019, we are having more than around 10 million buildings. And in these 10 million buildings, we are having around 26 million dwellings. And the Turkish construction industry is capable of constructing new buildings around more than 100,000 buildings in a year, with more than 1.4 million dwellings, which was achieved in 2017. And when we look at the regulations we need, we still need to develop more tight regulations to achieve the future targets. And of course, this is just the beginning. And we need to transform our building stocks in a record time. And thanks to indoor air quality ecosystem for sharing our passion to accelerate the transformation for a healthier world. The memorandum of understanding that we are going to have intends to strengthening ties between our members and creating values to our communities, empowering our societies with knowledge and expertise, serving as a hub for exchanging information, guidelines and science-based knowledge on the indoor environment quality, helping in providing acceptable indoor environmental quality to occupants in buildings and places of work by ensuring that knowledge from research on indoor air quality was implemented in practice, and stimulating activities which are designed and executed collaboratively to improve the actual delivered indoor environmental quality in buildings. And we look forward to catching up soon and wish you a joyous holiday season and a happy, healthy new year as I had the opportunity. Thank you.
Dr. Bayraktar, thanks a lot for the valuable information you have shared. As you mentioned, as a result of the intense cooperation realized during the organization of this event, we will have a memorandum of understanding signed between Indoor Air Quality Ecosystem and TTMD. So for this online signing session, I'd like to invite on this virtual stage Ms. Kannisto and Dr. Bayraktar. Please.
And here, thank you. I would like to comment this online.
Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you very much. We are really hoping to see the next steps in our common joint journey. Thank you.
Likewise. Likewise. Thank you.
Congratulations once more. Normally, we would be having a questions and answers section here, but I do not see any questions. I do not see any questions so far. If you have any questions, you can send these to us in written form and we can direct them to the speakers. Hereby, I think we're coming to the end of this session. Dear Mr. Halil Kolluk, dear Ms. Jutta Kannisto, Your Excellency Ms. Arimäki, and Your Excellency Mr. Mehmet Valkur Erkol, dear speakers and guests. First of all, I'd like to thank you for your wonderful presentations, meaningful discussions, and active participation in our meeting. I wholeheartedly hope that our meeting was fruitful and beneficial, and I believe it will give a new impetus to the cooperation between Finland and Turkey. After this session, we will share the presentations of our speakers with the participants. Now, I'd like to underline that if you would like to participate to the online pitching networking session, you need to use the second Zoom link shared with you before the event. And we are also going to now write the link for the pitching networking session in the chat box of this session, and you can also join that session from that link. Before ending my words, I'd like to express my gratitude to everyone who contributed to the realization of our meeting for their guidance and support during all this preparation process. Thank you all.
Well, Pelin Hanım, I'd like to add a few words here. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for really being a great panel chairman, I should say. I'll call you, all right? And you've done a great job. Chairperson, I should say, just to make a little correction there. That was really wonderful. And the way you handled all matters and the way you gave word to our speakers, thank you very much indeed. And thank you, Business Finland. You are a great partner. And my thanks also go to our participants, our dear ambassadors, and definitely, you know, the organizations represented here. MOE was a great event, and Kemal Bey, Munis Bey, and Jutta, and everybody. And IMO's presentation was impressive. I did know about VTD before, but I was truly impressed. I mean, in fact, all the presentations were impressive. That means, can we come up with an idea? Let's turn this into a series of talks of Business Finland DEİK activity on indoor air quality. And we have great members here, great partners here. And the fun in the world, the joy in the world is to do it together. So let's do it together. And together we can do it. Thank you very much to you. Thank you. So back to you, Pelin Hanım.
Thank you very much. And I mean, I would like to invite anyone interested in the networking session to click on the link provided in the chat box. Have a very nice and healthy day and take care of yourselves. Indoor air quality helps, I guess. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.